4, criticism. Welcome to lecture 4 that's about criticism. So let's just jump right in, shall we? Let's say you're on YouTube and you see a person who has rescued a little kitten and she's feeding that little kitten from a tiny little bottle on her kitchen, and you see the kitten grasping, drinking the milk, and you scroll down and someone says, "Clean your kitchen, B." Why are we so mean? Why are we so critical under the guise of anonymity online? I don't know. It's actually helped me choose my energies when I want to go into social media and pay attention to what feeds positivity instead of negativity. But we do that. It's human condition. If we're driving down I-25 and somebody cuts us off, we're more than likely to go bananas. "Listen, you mother, blah, 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 blah," screaming and yelling. But we wouldn't say that if somebody bumped into us in real life. So it's really important for me in this class and in this life to learn how to be critical in ways that promote improvement opportunities instead of just being mean. So let's talk about what's due for this class. You're going to see 2 plays. One play is going to be a play or a film of your choosing, and the second is going to be Romeo and Juliet. So we're going to watch Romeo and Juliet later on in the semester, and that's Baz Luhrmann's 1996 version, starring Leo DiCap and, oh my gosh, I can't remember who. It's not Kate Winslet, but I apologize, theater gods. But 1996 Baz Luhrmann's version. So let's talk about what I would like your paper to look like. I'd like it to be 2 pages. The first page is going to be who, what, when, where, why. So it's just going to be sort of detailing the plot. The second is going to be your specific reaction to it. Maybe you were in love at 14. Maybe you believe that fate can't be controlled. Maybe you believe this whole thing is a gross exaggeration and over-romanticization of a teenage murder-suicide. I don't want to lead you down the primrose path. I do need to have a sip of water. I'm sorry. It is quite windy and there's a lot of pollen outside. But the second page of your criticism should be how it affects you. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about criticism, specifically as you go on. How we judge plays can be broken up into a few different ways. First of all, we judge them as individuals, how they individually relate to us, right? Like I said, if Romeo and Juliet, maybe you don't believe in love, or maybe you're very highly suspect after one conversation that they could fall in such great love. Let me find my lighting. So it's how it deals with themes that are large and common to you in particular. You can also think about plays and judging it as it is to art, as it is to other art. So plays strive to touch its audience and give us a visceral response. We talked a lot about how some plays or some films even make us feel something that we haven't felt before, or puts us in touch with something that we didn't have words for. So it succeeds as art in that way. We have to look at plays as entertainment. Excuse me. So here's something that I find challenging, because I can intellectualize this and say this, but it's very difficult for me to understand that in order for something to be entertaining, it doesn't necessarily have to be good. Like the Kardashians. Who knows who the Kardashians are? Raise your hand. The Kardashians are well known because they keep our national attention. They keep our national attention because advertisers pay to be on their show. So it doesn't necessarily need to be good to be entertaining. If I was to sit here and very, very deftly cut myself open, I was to take a penknife and just rip this apart very, very slowly, that would be entertaining because it would hold your attention, most of you. But it's not necessarily having to be good. And I think that's a very important thing to recognize. So we judge a play also through our own personal experiences, what we're doing that evening. if you go see a play later on, when there's not a pandemic, then what happens that evening is going to judge how you see the play. Maybe you didn't get a lot of sleep, and as soon as the lights go down, it envelops you in a womb-like atmosphere where you're going to want to zone out. I get it. Right? That is how, and other days you might be really anxious to see the play. I'm going to tell you how to be a critic. And I think that this is good. This is good for looking at plays critically, but also in your life. The first thing that I'm asking you to do is to have an open mind, to think that maybe you don't know everything there is to know about a certain subject that's being taught, a certain film that's being seen, a certain play that's being experienced. And I'm going to tell you right now that if you have an open mind, life is going to be so much easier. It's going to be so much easier because then you're putting yourself in the place of a curious learner, and curiosity brings so many rewards. So when you're looking at a film, whether it be Romeo and Juliet or whatever film you choose to have your second play, be sure to have an open mind. Be informed, and that's what this class is all about. You're having some background from which to look at the play and give an expert evaluation and opinion. Be sensitive, which is being receptive to the life experience that you have. Demanding, you hold this play or this film to the highest standards capable. If I go see a play at Sonoma Ranch and they're trying to do Cinderella, I'm not going to tell a third grader, you know what, you really sucked. Like, I totally didn't believe you were Cinderella. How old are you anyway? What size shoe do you wear? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to hold it to the highest standards capable. Conversely, if I was going to see a Broadway show and I'm shelling out $300 for something, I want to have high standards. So hold it to the highest standards capable. Now, of course, in this semester, we're not going to be seeing actual plays. But when you see whatever film that you decide to focus on, make sure that you're holding it to high standards. Chances are they have a pretty big budget. And then finally, I want you to be articulate. So don't say LOL, OMG. Write academically. Always push yourself to write better, better and better and better, because that's how you'll grow. And the ability to express oneself contritely is a dying art form, and I want you to get ahead in life. So I can come up to you in real life and ask you for $20. I'm kidding. Okay, leave you with 3 final questions that I want you to ask yourself. What was being done? That's probably on page number 1. How well was it being done? And finally, and this is the hard one, should it have ever been done? Should it have ever been done? In most cases, I would say, yeah. Yeah, even if it provokes a reaction that is abhorrent, or you're frustrated with it, or you think that this is a waste of time, that deserves some introspection. Why am I having this reaction, right? The only time I think something should not be done is if it's done against the person's will, if it's hurting a child or an animal. There are some terrible videos out there that certainly show stuff like that. And in that case, I would say that probably should never be done. Now, I'm going to leave you with this. Your final papers, your critical papers, will be due the last day of class. And I'd like you to email them to me. The light is beautiful right now, but it's also a little cuckoo because it's cloudy, and I have a sunroof that is where everything's coming from. I'm not getting divine inspiration. I hope you guys are doing well during the quarantine, and I hope you're staying safe. Think critically and act from the heart. I'll see you soon.